Hello, Snow West. Today is Thursday, July 31st, and we are back up in Island Park for our next chapter, next edition in the ATV series for the Pirate Guide. I'm Christopher, Greybeard, your Pirate Guide for West Yellowstone and Island Park. And today we are up in the Big Springs Warming Hut parking lot. Now, this morning I released another short video asking you what changes would you like to see for the 25-26 season as far as the videos go. And the one recurring theme that manifests itself very, very quickly is that you wanted more location information. You wanted me to be more specific and give you more details about exactly where I'm riding, either in the winter on the snowmobiles or in the summer on the ATVs. So I'm going to take a little bit more time at the beginning of each one of these videos and identify exactly where I'm at, how you get here, and how you can follow along in the day's ride. My goal, as I mentioned in the other video, is to promote riding, whether you're on an ATV, you're on a bicycle, you're on a snowmobile, doesn't matter to me, but to promote riding here in Island Park or in West Yellowstone. So how do you get to the Big Springs Warming Hut? Highway 20 goes right through the middle of Island Park and goes right through the middle of West Yellowstone. So it doesn't matter which side of the mountain you start on. If you're in West Yellowstone, hop on I-20 and go towards IP. If you're in Idaho Falls, hop on I-20, go towards IP. Both will take you to the exact same spot. Your big geographic landmark is Max Inn or the Henry's Fork River. Just before or just after, depending on which direction you're coming, you will see the South Big Springs Loop Road. It's a T intersection, so you can't turn the wrong way. Turn on that and start driving down. As you drive down that, you will then come to a sign that says Big Springs WH. Big Springs Warming Hut. That is a dirt road in the summer or a plowed snow road in the winter. If you're coming in the wintertime, you will not be able to go any farther than that on the Big Springs Loop Road because there'll be a 5 to 10 foot wall of snow barring all motorized non-snowmobile traffic from going any farther. They'll force you to turn right and go down that road. In the summertime, of course, you can stay on the road and go right down to Big Springs or go to the boat launch or, continue on to all kinds of different places. But you're going to turn right on that road and you're going to come around and you will end up in this very large parking lot here that you can see behind me. In the wintertime, there's room for probably 40 trailers. In the summertime, Lord knows how many there are. That little building right there is the Warming Hut, and that's where it gets its name. We'll walk over there real quick. That building behind me is the Big Springs Warming Hut. In the wintertime, if you're coming up to go sledding, there'll be a wood stove in there and it's heated and it's just a wonderful place to get out of the cold, get out of the wind, get out of the weather. In the summertime, typically it gets reserved and families or group gatherings are coming up here and using it for hanging out for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. There are campsites all around, left and right side of that and across, where people can reserve and you can come and take your RV or take a tent or do whatever you like. It's available in the wintertime. But I've only seen Boy Scouts coming out here to do their Klondike, where they're digging in and making snow caves. But in essence, that's the Big Springs Warming Hut. This is where we're going to launch out of. This is where I typically start most of my sled rides because it's so central to Island Park. And given a choice, I prefer to sled over the mountain rather than drive around the mountain to West Yellowstone. That will not be the case with the ATVs, though. I will absolutely be driving over to West Yellowstone. I bought my tickets, or I should say I bought the stickers for the ATV from Montana last week. I believe the stickers are at the house now or probably sitting in my P.O. box. I did not have them with me today, so I'm going to launch out of IP even if we end up driving towards West or not. But by the next ride, I'll probably start launching out of West and we'll do both sides of the mountain. I'll make sure that I give equal coverage of both sides. Today, where are we going to go? I'm going to head down, let's flip this, I'm going to head down that little trail right there. That's the exit point that takes us into Greater Island Park. And we're going to run over to Chick Creek. And you'll see Chick Creek is a major intersection just before we get to great big huge meadow in the center of Big Springs. We'll turn right on Chick Creek and then we're going to run out Chick Creek for miles and miles and miles. What's the purpose of today's ride? We are going to go looking for open trails and closed trails. Summer to winter in Island Park in West Yellowstone is wildly, wildly different. There's virtually unlimited riding in the wintertime. You can pretty much go anywhere your sled can go. With your ATV, not the case. We are very, very restricted on where we're allowed to ride and where we're not allowed to ride. So I am looking to go explore those snowmobile trails to see which ones are closed, which ones are opened, which ones are accessible, and which ones, have big old tank traps on them. And I'm not sure what we're going to find, but that's what we're after today. We're going to drive out on Chick Creek, and I'm going to turn left and turn right multiple times, out looking for opportunities to go riding. We're back on Big Springs Loop Road. You can see the marker there, intersection 43, Big Springs Warming Hut. Big Springs 2 miles to the right. Now, my ATV is not street legal. I do not have blinkers. I do not have a plate. So I'm going to take this little dirt road. It's going to go out. It's going to curve around. It'll bring me back to the Big Springs Road, but right at the Chick Creek intersection. This is one of the nice little side trails where the main trail on the right is, set up for cars or buggies, side-by-sides. And this little sub-trail on the left is much more appropriate for an ATV. So I'll take advantage of this and stay off the bigger trail, which is a little bit more rutted. Feels a little bit more like a winter trail that hasn't been groomed, which we've certainly discussed on this channel more than once. This little bridge up here probably separates out a lot of the cars, I would guess. And that's our first little water crossing. The water certainly makes it all the more fun around here. It is green and wet, and Island Park is just beautiful and magnificent. So that little trail comes out into this great big meadow. And if you bar to the right, it loops us right around onto Big Springs Road again. We're just down this road, a mile or so that way when I did the last little section. Now we'll cross over, and this is Chick Creek. Black Canyon Loop, actually, but or Fish Creek, oh my gosh, excuse me, Fish Creek Road. Number 82. We'll head on down here for quite some time. So as you can see, Fish Creek is a fairly major road, and this road is used for a lot of access to private property on the left and the right hand side, where individuals have cabins and summer homes. A few hardy souls live up here in the wintertime and have tracked vehicles. You'll see them either riding in their sleds or riding in a tracked side-by-side. But it's not uncommon to see cars on this part of the road. I've already had a truck or two drive by me, and lots of walkers and bicyclists, and of course ATVs and side-by-sides galore. But this is a big road, it's wide, it's well maintained, and we're gonna go down this for a while yet. Now, some of you might remember a video we did in the middle of winter last year about searching for Moose Creek, I think is what we called it. So this is Chick Creek Flat Trail, intersection 62. And I'm going to turn and go down here for just a minute. So this is road 292. I want to run down and see if I can find the beginning of Moose Creek, so we can compare it to what we saw during the middle of winter. Moose Creek is a place that very few people ride. When we went down there, there was no trace of anybody having been in with a sled. And I'm almost completely certain it's closed in the summertime, because there were multiple tank traps that we had to take our sleds over. But it's only a short way down this road. I thought it'd be fun as a quick diversion to go down and take a look and see if we can find it. So we've been driving down this little road for a couple of miles, looking for the beginnings of Moose Creek, and I'm pretty sure it's right up here, just ahead of us. Yeah, there's the tank trap. So that's what I remember. In the wintertime, of course, we had, let's see if we had a pile of snow here, but I remember coming off the trail and going over the tank trap and then a second tank trap, and the stream should be just up here on the right-hand side. So we'll go a little farther. If this is it, we're going to see a couple of trails that are blocked off. Yep. That is definitely the entrance to Moose Creek. There's another tank trap or two trying to keep everybody out. And there's the creek itself. So, that was one of the most fun rides we had all winter long, was going up Moose Creek. It was an absolute blast. Somewhere on this trail, once it goes way, way up there, it goes back up and intersects with Fish Creek. And I'm gonna see if I can't find that intersection today. We were not able to find it during the winter. We spent the better part of the day trying to find where it re-intersects and had no luck at all. But I will try again today and see if we can't find it. As far as just pure beauty goes, pretty hard to beat this. That's Moose Creek, and that's about as pretty as it gets. Just a lovely little spot right here, you know. In the summertime, great place to go hiking if you're into it, and take a mountain bike probably. But it doesn't look like they want any ATVs coming in. But it sure is lovely. In the wintertime, this was nothing short of spectacularly beautiful. As I'm heading back up towards Fish Creek, I keep noticing these little trails off on the side. They're all over the place. I wanted to go just turn down one. I'm guessing they all take us down to various campsites. But having never gone down any of them in the wintertime, I haven't gone down any in the summer either, so I just wanted to poke in real quick. Yep, sure enough, that's exactly what these are. So these little guys are all over the place. And Island Park has got hundreds of these little campsites. And if I recall, you can stay 10 or 14 days in this forest. So it's a very friendly place to come, you know, camping and hiking and just hanging out. But these little roads are everywhere as we go up and down these main trails. I want to dip up and down a few more of them just to get a sense of what's out there. If you're going to come and visit, you know, there's fairly nice campsites that have power and toilets and, you know, the amenities, and then there's other ones that are just a little more rural like that with a little fire pit. They're all beautiful. Each one of them is lovely. Just depends what you like. If you want to be down there by the stream, that's I still think that's Moose Creek right there. But I did notice quite a few of these little roads. Oh, there's another one right here. Dip down and take a look at this one as well. Oh, the stream is so beautiful. Gosh. Yep, just leads us right back to the campsite. Go back a little bit farther maybe. Oh my gosh. If you enjoy camping, boy, this is a beautiful spot. I'm thinking that's about the end of the road for most people, unless you can get over that tree. May or may not want to bring a camper back here. ATV works fine though. These trees, boy, I tell you, that is the signature of Island Park. Down timber. Some of the places we ride in the winter are just strewn with down lumber. You know, with 100 inches of snow on it, you'll never know, but believe me, it is just everywhere. This has got to be incredibly fun when there's a ton of mud down here. You can see some of those ruts were a foot deep. That little stream is just about as beautiful gets. Goodness. All right, we'll get back on the main road. All right, so we come back up onto the main road. So as we're going along Black Canyon Loop, this is the first major turnoff. In the wintertime, this is the beginning of a really fun section for snowmobiling. I think this is going to take us up to some significant tank traps, if I remember this right. But I've never been up here in the summer, so the goal is to go exploring. Whether there's a tank trap or not doesn't matter. We're going to get up here and see what we find. But this used to be an access road, so it takes you back into some major timber or lumbering areas. And sure enough, so that's the main road right there, and that is a major tank trap. Go ahead and kill this. Yeah, you can see that they've dumped concrete there. They put boulders. There's a good 10-foot berm. More boulders back there. Let's go ahead and put this thing in park for just a second. I think it's important for us to go up here and just take a little look, just so you can understand how committed our Forest Service is to you not going up some of these trails in the summertime. In the winter, we rode the sled right down this little trail. So boulders, concrete, boulders, timber, another major tank trap. And we keep going up here, and they've been in here recently. You can see those trees were recently cut, and they've added more boulders. There's more rock. There's a third huge tank trap right there. Man, I don't understand. I really do wish I understood why they're so intent on not letting anyone back into this forest in the summertime. I don't get it. But you can just see from the size of these tank traps. I mean, they're huge. They're really designed to just swallow any vehicle at all, other than a snowmobile. With a sled, I can attest this is wildly fun. And I've rolled my sled. I've not made it up a couple of times. I'll admit it. I'm that guy. So I walked up around the backside of this big old tank trap that I was showing you. I just want to show you, as we get past the tank trap, there's the main trail, just big and as happy as can be, and you can tell there's definitely been ATVs and side-by-sides and dirt bikes. People are just, ignoring these tank traps and riding right around them. And that goes for miles, boys and girls, and it is a beautiful, beautiful ride in the wintertime. Really, really lovely. And it takes you up into an area where the main trail spiders like this, and there's dozens and dozens of smaller trails all over the place that you can take your sled. And certainly some of the folks that, are riding this trail that's closed know about all those other roads, and they're up there playing with them. And you can see the side-by-sides have blazed their own trail on the side there, and they've blazed another trail here. I am kind of surprised the Forest Service hasn't been back up here to try to block off the second and the tertiary ones. Since I'm doing a public video and I am highly identifiable, I'm not going to take advantage of those. Other people may be somewhat less scrupulous than me and come up here and sneak a ride. But it is really beautiful. And I can say that I hope, in all honesty, that with the new timbering laws opening up, maybe, and this is a legitimate maybe we're going to see the end of this. And they will start reopening this forest to logging. And once they open it to logging, it's going to open back up to ATVs and side-by-sides and all kinds of motorized vehicles. But we'll get on the ATV, we'll head back down the way we came. Yeah, I mean, look at this. My gosh. That's a main road. They spent a lot of time back in the 80s building these, and these tank traps are old. They've been there for decades. But it doesn't look like they're putting out a whole lot of time and effort to maintain that closure. That is the trail we saw go up and around. So, not sure what's going on. Maybe the Forest Service is relenting a little bit. Truly don't know. But I won't be going down there publicly today. Just in case I missed it before, the little diversion that took us up the tank traps is 113. We're continuing down 082, which is Black Canyon Loop Trail. So I'm driving down Black Canyon Loop Trail, and I looked to my right for just a second, and I saw a little berm. Now, that little berm is probably not natural. It's probably a tank trap. And if it is, that's really significant, because I have not seen this before in the wintertime. Yeah, that's definitely a tank trap. All right. I think there's at least a small chance that this trail, or what's left of this trail, is the Moose Creek interface that I was looking for all winter long last year and I couldn't find. We drove up and down this section of Black Canyon over and over, spent an hour looking. And in the wintertime, this is completely full of snow. There were no tracks anywhere, but this might be the trail that goes down into the canyon and then over to Moose Creek. On the old aerials, and I mean old, we got to go back 30, 40 years, you can see a trail that comes all the way from Moose Creek and intersects up here with Black Canyon Loop. And our goal last year when we were snowmobiling was to find that way and ride up here, and we just couldn't do it. The trees were so thick down on the creek itself that we never found a way up here to Black Canyon. So while I don't know for a fact that's it, that might be it. Again, not open in the summertime, but in the wintertime, if we can get our sleds back here and I can get a sense of where we're at now, this would be one more exploratory ride for the Pirates. So if you come up here with me next year, I got a new place we're going to go look. I'm going to start on the top and see if we can work our way down into Moose Creek rather than on the bottom and work our way up. Just maybe that's what we're looking for. All right, I want to stop for just a second and point something out that those of you that have come up here in the winter have probably never seen. What you're looking at right here is asphalt. This road, Black Canyon Loop Trail, used to be paved. This was a paved road back in the day, and the Forest Service, for reasons unknown, has allowed this to deteriorate. But imagine once upon a time, this whole road, all the way from Big Springs up, as far as I know, was fully paved, and must have been just a joy and a delight to drive on decades ago, I would guess. This is one of the only sections I know of on the entire road, though, where you can still see some of the original pavement. And it was a real coarse pavement. I mean, look at the size of the rocks in there. But I just wanted to mention, you know, once upon a time, this was a really nice road. It wasn't always made out of dirt. So continuing down Black Canyon, I see another road over here on the right. And I'll dip over and take a look. This could just as easily be that Moose Creek interface I'm looking for. Ah, here we go. Another major tank trap. Jeez, these things are freaking everywhere, I swear. This could just as easily be the trail I'm looking for as that other one was. But again, I don't remember ever seeing this in the wintertime. It just completely fills in with snow. There's a second big old tank trap in the back. Man, we got some serious exploring to do come this winter. There's a lot of this area we need to get up here and really push the sleds and go check out. Well, this is something you can't do on the snowmobile very easily. Put it in reverse. My gosh, that's fabulous. Oh goodness, look at that. This ATV is not too bad, you know? It's a lot of fun actually. So continuing down Black Canyon, we're coming up on the third major road interface. This is Forest Service Road 98, and I expected it would be closed, no big surprise. Let me tell you a little bit about this, because this is another fun trail. So if you turn here on 98 and you head back in, it's a very nice trail, very nice ride. This will take you into Thirsty Creek, and it takes you in the easy, friendly way. Again, it goes through miles and miles of area that used to be timbered and clear cut. If you don't dip into Thirsty and you keep veering to the right, this will loop you all the way back to the main Black Canyon Loop Trail up in the mountains, up at about 7,700 feet. But yeah, this one they've done a little extra work on the gate. I'm not sure why. Looks like they lost part of the gate at some point, and they just added trees to try to stop people. But again, you can see it's a fairly nice trail. It is unmaintained in the winter, as was the other trail that we went past just a minute ago. But a major, or what used to be a more major road once upon a time. you notice all these stumps? The stumps are everywhere. One of the reasons people are very hesitant to come riding here until you got 30 or 40 or in some cases 50 inches of snow. Most of these meadows have boulders and lots of stumps, which the local dealers really appreciate if you go riding because it increases their ARB sales. Now this little meadow here should be familiar to anybody that's come up this road in the wintertime. This is what I call warm-up meadow. I don't know that it actually has a real name. That's as good a name as any, but this is the first place we usually dive off after we've come out of Big Springs warming hut. You've ridden for several miles, you're cold, you need to loosen up. We dive off into this little meadow and play for a few minutes and warm up. This is also a pretty good indication. If the snow is good here, the snow is going to be great when we get up on top. And if the snow is poor or marginal here, you know, it might be okay on the top, but it's probably not going to be mind-blowing. What a lovely meadow. Just got to watch out for the stumps. And there's some big stumps out there. And lots of deadfall. Oh, this is so beautiful today. And it'll be just as spectacular 120 days from now when it's buried in snow. So still on Black Canyon Loop. Coming up here on the left is an important little trail. And I'm quite certain there'll be no way to get the ATV up there. We're going to walk up just a little bit because I want to show you what's up here. This is the entryway to the old Black Canyon Loop Trail, not to be confused with the current one. I thought I'd come back to the forward or the rear facing camera. This little trail here on the side here is important. Now, it's going to be closed in the summertime. There's no doubt about it. This is probably one of the most closed trails I've ever come across. Even in the wintertime, there are 5, maybe 10 tank traps in a row. It is seriously closed. If you're not ready for it on your sled, it's not a whole lot of fun. Once you've learned how to go over it, it's just fine. But this takes us on the original Black Canyon Loop Trail versus what is now the main highway, what I think is more accurately Fish Creek. But I wanted to point this out to you because this is important to know if you're coming up here to go riding in the wintertime. So it's just off to the left of the main road. And we'll walk over and it starts off with a gentle little bump. But as soon as we start to go up, you know, another 20 or 30 yards, you hit the first obstacle. And it's not an insignificant obstacle. And there is just one after another, after another, after another of these tank traps. And as you can see, that's a boulder, man. Another boulder, third boulder. And it just happens and repeats again and again as we come back here. In the wintertime, this is a fun trail, but it's pretty much 100% stand-up off-road snowmobile kind of trail as you make your way down this old windy trail. This takes you up to what I call New Meadow. There's nothing new about it. Most of these places just don't have names, and that's just what I call it. But New Meadow is a really fun place, and if you followed along last season's videos, you know I went up there a ton of times with people because I found that we had consistently good snow. It was a lot of fun. Open meadows, wide open trees, just a fun place to go. So this little trail that's closed in the summertime, and I don't think anybody's getting up there. I see no trace of dirt bikes or ATVs or anything. It looks like it's completely closed off. It's super important in the wintertime. You absolutely want to keep your eye open if you're coming down, you know, Black Canyon Loop or Fish Creek for this little left-hand turn. Now I'll go down a little bit farther and I'll show you the other way to get in, which is the canyon access. Now, the canyon is going to look a little gnarly in the summertime, and you can't get up it early in the winter. You probably have to wait until late in December or early January before there's enough snow for you to make it up the canyon, but it's a fun ride. Okay, so what's coming up here should be instantly recognizable to everybody who's ever come up this road. Certainly, if you're one of the couple of hundred people that rode with me last year, you'll recognize this lovely little drop-off where I terrified a few people, taking you down there with a sled down into that canyon. We'd run up there and, you know, work on a little bit of basic mountain skills. But this is a super fun place. No way in hell am I going down there with the ATV. But in the winter, this is great. But this runs around. And we had lots of people that would drop down in there and then use the side area right along here to practice their hill climbing. It's short, but it's very steep, as you can see. And this is just, you know, little luge runs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one of these is a different run when you're on a snowmobile, that you can just shoot up and shoot down, where you're only gaining maybe 50, 100 feet of total elevation, but you know, you're coming up 60, 70, 80 degree slopes. And then down here, it gets a little more gentle. This is where most everybody would pop back up onto the trail. And then over here, that is the route that most everybody takes to get up to New Meadow. But as you can see in the summertime, that is not a pleasant place to be. In the wintertime, once you've got 3, 6, 8 feet of snow, you can go up there. But the farther you go, the more exciting it gets. And as you hit that first little berm there, and you go around, and you keep on going, climbing, 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 until you suddenly land back on the original Black Canyon Loop trail. You go over the trail, and then boom, it opens up into what I call New Meadow. And super, super fun place to ride. Really, really pleasant. And this place is just an awesome place to teach people basic mountain skills for folks that are coming out and visiting that, you know, haven't had a lot of opportunity to deal with terrain. Now here we've got 15, 20 feet with a lot of snow on it. It's very gentle, it's very forgiving. Great place to practice mountain skills. And generally someplace we stop almost every time we go out. Okay, coming up around this little corner, here's a draw that I have never gone up in the winter. This one is still above my pay grade. But I've seen a couple of people go up it. Take a look at that. That also takes you right up to New Meadow, but is significantly more technical as you wind your way back up to the top there. Maybe one of these days I'll do it, but thus far I just haven't been willing to pay the price of potential carnage of just destroying one of my sleds. But I wanted to point that out to you. So many fun places to go. Okay, just a little piece of fun trivia. A little while ago in this video, we went down to the beginnings of Moose Creek, where last year I took a group of people and we all rode into Moose Creek and we were exploring. We're trying to figure out how we get up here to Black Canyon. And I'm coming around the corner on Black Canyon and I'm looking down into Moose Creek right now. And I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so that's Black Canyon Loop Trail. And I come over here and we're looking down. And if we look in the back, up there, that is where Moose Creek was, way back in there. And this is the very top of the Moose Creek Canyon that we were attempting to push and utterly failed to get up here. As you get up here, this canyon gets really tight and really narrow, and just a little bit farther up ahead over here, you'll see the absolute head of the canyon, and it's just as gnarly gets. But fun to look at this. Hard to appreciate down at the bottom just how incredibly treacherous this canyon is. It is some rough riding. If you go back and watch that video, you'll see the farther we got, the more exciting the trail got. And it eventually got to the point where it was just solid trees. We couldn't find any way forward at all. But it's really fun. I want to stress that, how much fun it is to go exploring. I'm up here today on the ATV, and yeah, we're finding a lot of places we can't go. And I don't want this video in any way, shape, or form to be, you know, Debbie Downer about all the places you can't go, because that's not what this is about. I know full well there's going to be a lot of closed trails, and I'm deliberately looking today to find those closed trails. So please don't let this dampen your enthusiasm, because it's not dampening my enthusiasm in the least possible way. I'm still having a blast. I'm loving this. I'm just confirming where we're going to be able to explore and where we're not able to explore, where we can ride and where we can't ride. And that's just part of the game. You know, for me, primarily, I'm a snowmobiler. Most of the people watching this video are probably snowmobilers. We're going to pick up some ATVers that are coming out that haven't learned that the winter is the better time of the year to go play. But yeah, you know, I mean, I'm looking at all the places, and a lot of these trails I can't see during the winter at all. They're hidden, they're invisible. I mean, look at 2 or 3 of the places we've stopped already and gone to poke into. I've been riding it for 17 years. I've never seen those tank traps. they're completely buried. But now I know there's a couple of places this coming season I will absolutely 100% be poking down those little drainages or those little runs to see where those old trails go from 20, 30, 40 years ago. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. You know, don't let this dampen your enthusiasm in any way. We're going to ride up this trail and we're going to find more places that are closed, and that's totally 100% okay. It is what I expect to find today. I'm scouting the area out so I can plan out where we're going to go in the winter. And from time to time, we're going to find a couple of open trails we can go ride the ATVs on, and we'll have some fun in the summer. Now, in all of Island Park, in my humble opinion, as your pirate guide, this is the saddest place in the entire world. This is where you turn to actually go on to Black Canyon Loop Trail. And if you remember, we came up here a couple of weeks ago when I was hiking. There's the dreaded sign, closed gate ahead. And indeed, it was very much closed. But there is no place I would like to go more than on the other side of this gate. This is my favorite trail in the entire Island Park Caldera area. I just love coming up here. And it is a whole lot easier on an ATV than when you're hiking. Such a beautiful place. And there it is. Closed up just as tight now as it was the last time we were here. However, I have some interesting news. Let me turn this thing off and share an interesting little tidbit. So as you may remember, I came up here last time, maybe a month ago. We walked up, we looked at this sign. This road is open for hikers, snowmobilers, horses, closed to all other motor vehicles. Reason: to protect wildlife habitat and to prevent damage to the road surface. All right, so let me give you the rest of the story. So as everybody who follows this channel knows that a couple of days ago I went horseback riding. And what I told everybody is that it was a deal between me and a very close friend of mine, a guy I goes to church with, who is a passionate horse rider. He wanted me to come riding for the last couple of years because I've been egging him on about going snowmobiling. He's just not a winter fan. So I went horseback riding the other day, and he's agreed to come snowmobiling. Well, there's more to the story. I told him about that miserable sign right there, and how it says it's open to hooves and feet, or in snowmobiles, which are really hard to ride in the middle of summer. And I said, you know, I would love more than anything else, if I ever go riding with you again, to bring the trailer and park it here and take the horses out and go on the other side. And he said yes. So sometime, I think in August, we're gonna load up a couple of his ponies. We're gonna come up here and I'm not sure, let me flip this camera around. We're gonna come up here and figure out a way, and I'm sure there is a way for a horse. Yeah, right there. We'll take these horses back into the trees here, and we should be able to walk right around just like that. There's our gate right over there. And we'll walk those horses right through these trees, right back up onto that road. And I am gonna get my wish. We're gonna come up here and spend a day up on top of Black Canyon in the middle of summer. And we'll probably be the only people up here. I can't imagine that anybody else is gonna be up here. There's you know, on this side, there's no trace of any tire tracks at all. Not bicycles. I don't see hoof prints. I don't see ATVs. I see nothing at all. It's completely clean. But we're gonna go up here and do a little exploring, which will be, in my opinion, super, super fun. That is something that I didn't mention because I knew I was gonna come up here today and I thought it'd be fun. But I will get a chance to get up there and, you know, with a horse, mind you, it's a lot slower and a little bit bumpier, but they can go anywhere a snowmobile can go. Maybe a few places they can't. So that'll be a fun treat. Sometime this summer, we'll get up here and take the horses, and I'll actually get up on the top of Black Canyon, and I'll get some video for you guys of what my absolute favorite place in the whole world to go riding looks like when there's no snow whatsoever. As I'm making my way back down the Black Canyon Loop Trail before we intersect back with Fish Creek, I'm just looking to the left and the right, and you see these trees? Now you can see the stumps. They're everywhere. There's trees and down. But when you add 36, 48 inches of snow, this is what I'm referring to every time I say that I love open tree riding. The spacing in these trees is fabulous. And once you've got 3 or 4 feet of snow, those stumps are a non-issue, and so is the down timber. But you can ride back in here for miles and miles. You know, you can spend your entire day down in these lower woodlands just exploring, just going as far as your map and your compass or your comfort level will take you. I mean, some really, really fun wintertime riding back here. And you see, when normally we just blow right past this because we're always on the way to get up to the high country, trying to get up to 8,000 feet where the snow is the very best. But, you know, this is some really nice place to go play. And Caribou-Targhee Island Park is filled with forests that are like this, that are more than wide enough for anybody with a decent mountain sled to just go back in there and just play and just have a wonderful time. Just as a point of reference, we just came off the Black Canyon Loop Trail, came back out here to Fish Creek. Intersection is number 69, so if you're looking on your map, you can see that. Ponds Lodge, 15 miles to the left. Big Springs, 11 miles to the right. We're going to go to the left now and go to a place that I just very, very seldom ride. I don't know if I've gone down this road 2, maybe 3 times in 17 years. Normally, this is where I turn. I go up and go play in the high country, but today we're going to go down and explore a little. Coming down Chick Creek here, or Fish Creek, excuse me, and there's a little turn. I don't know where it goes. I don't know if this goes back to a campsite or goes up into the mountains, but it looks at least a little bit promising. It doesn't seem to have any gates on it. So we're exploring. For all I know, this just loops right around and kicks us right back out on Fish Creek again. But maybe not. Maybe this will take us somewhere fun. Oh, another gate. Of course there's another gate. Oh my gosh. Someday, I swear, we've got to find a way to get all these gates open back up. This one's in even worse shape than the other one is. Holy cow, man. This area is open to bicycles. Well, that's first. I haven't seen that sign anywhere. Huh. Oh gosh. How about one this is open to ATVs? I'd like that one. I'm going to keep checking every one of these. There's eventually going to be a road that's open that we can go down. This wasn't it, but I'm not going to give up. All right, so up here on the left, I want you to ask yourself, how many trees does the U.S. Forest Service need to cut down to block a road before somebody gets the idea that they don't want you to go down this road? And I looked over here on the side, and what did I see? How many trees do you have to put on a road to get the hint, you know? 10 trees, 20 trees, 50 frickin' trees? I mean, come on, guys, good grief, look at this. Have they put enough trees there to stop somebody from going down there? I don't know what's down there, but boy, do they not want you to go down that little trail right there. Oh my gosh, how much money has the Forest Service spent to make sure you don't go into the forest? Jeez. All right, still going down the trail, looking for places to go. Here's a candidate. This is the first trail I've seen that didn't have a tank trap, didn't have a gate, didn't have a sign. It's a little overgrown, but you know. It doesn't go anywhere. Kind of peters out. Now just turn around. It just goes down a little meadow. And for all I know, maybe that's where all these little guys go. none of them go anywhere. But you know, it's the very first one I found that wasn't blocked off. Clearly it was a road once upon a time. It was a fire pit once upon a time too. So many of those little trails on the sides. There's another one right there. I'm sure I've seen at least a dozen of those gates today. This must have been just massive, massive logging back in the day. There's another one right there. Little tank trap, but there's a road, little trail right back. All of those, I imagine, are all logging roads. It sure is gorgeous up here. Even though all the little side trails are closed, it doesn't really matter. It's beautiful. It's an absolutely lovely ride. There's another one right there. It's all strewn with timber, but you can see the remains of what used to be a logging road. So I'm driving down the road, and on the left-hand side, I just saw something I went past. I want to go back because it looked crazy. So bear with me as I put the ATV in reverse and we go look at something that seemed way out of place. What in the world is that? That is the craziest looking thing. If any of you guys that are watching this know what that is, let me know. Look at that big, huge pile of timber. I mean, felled trees, hundreds and hundreds of trees. Obviously, I mean, they're old, they're way old. That's been there for decades. But why in the world would that be there? Is that all from maybe when these trees were clear cut years ago and these have all grown in since, and that was just a huge slash pile maybe? Or trees that never got hauled out? I don't know. That's crazy. No idea. Just driving along, enjoying the sights. I mean, looking at this, it's so freaking beautiful. You hear the wind in the background? Look how green that is. Just drop dead, take your breath away beautiful. My gosh, this place is so freaking majestic. It's just amazing. Come up here in the wintertime and take your sled and right up the mountain. Just go up there and have the time of your life. All this is open riding. Come down this main road, this trail, turn off the side, and away you go, man. Ride and ride until you run out of gas. Is it any wonder I love this place so much? Just such a fabulous place. It's so beautiful, so nice to be up here. You know, I've been going down this trail and I've seen 2 side by side so far, and that's it. It's been just me pretty much all day long. Beautiful place. Okay, I see another one. Might be gated, might not, don't know. I'm gonna go explore. That's what we're here for. Oh, this looks promising. What have we here? Do we actually find? Nope. Well, maybe, I don't know. This looks like natural tree fall to me, not deliberate down trees. Clearly lots of other people have been up here already. You can tell that by all the bark that's knocked down. Oh, there's a gate. Oh my God, a gate and a tank trap. Look at that. There's a double whammy. Dang. Oh my gosh, I swear. I wish I understood why they're so intent at keeping people out of the forest. This poor old gate, beat up. And look at the size of that tank trap. My gosh. You could certainly ride down into it. That wouldn't be hard. There's probably another one or two further on. Gosh, they spent a lot of money and a lot of time closing everything off. I've seen several of these gates today that are just demolished. Clearly guys with big trucks and big bumpers have come. Some of them just pushed down, flattened, completely pancaked. You know, this one's been hit multiple times. The signs are gone. They don't even bother closing it anymore. There's no sign of a chain or a lock or anything, but that's probably why we've got this big, huge tank trap. Oh well. I'm gonna keep looking, guys. I don't give up easy. There may be just one road up here that we can find that we can go down and explore. I'm gonna try my best to find it. All right, we'll back out. All right, so we're heading back the way we came. And there is a major intersection here I did not take earlier. I'll give you a marker just so you know where we're at. Now we're going to turn and go down. So we're at Junction 70. We're going to turn and go down Forest Service Road 291. See where this goes. Such a gorgeous day. Oh my goodness. So we're riding along and came to arguably one of the most scenic spots in all of Island Park. This is just so stunning. I had to stop and get off the ATV and let you guys take a look at this with a real camera. Is that just spectacularly beautiful or what? I've been up here in the winter, but I've never come in the summer. You can see all the way across the valley. That's Sawtell. We might be able to zoom in. You can see the radar dome up on top of it. That's as 15x is as much as I can get out of my little camera. But what a magnificent, glorious sight. Come up here in the wintertime and this is just white. I mean, just covered in white. You know what the amazing part is? When you look at this whole thing, everything you see here, all of that is 100% unlimited riding. In wintertime, if you've got your sled, go for it, guys. You can go anywhere you want out there. Gosh, just spectacular. I mean, truly breathtaking, like spectacular. Holy cow. As I'm looking, I see there's a little road down there. I don't know what road that is. I can see just a little glimpse of a dirt trail. I need to figure out what trail that is. We need to go ride that and do a little exploring. Man, just spectacularly beautiful. That might be Two Top. I'm not certain on that. Yeah, I think that's Mount Two Top right there. I know the resolution's very poor. I zoom in that much, but man, what a view from right here. goodness. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Not too shabby for a place to come riding your ATV in the middle of summer, huh? Views like that, boy. That just goes on and on forever. I'm driving along this trail and just looking left and right and noticing how beautiful it is. And I look over here to the left and suddenly saw this little opening. And I thought to myself, that is just a place of surpassing beauty. Now maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic when it comes to the mountains and the forest. That's entirely possible. But just look at that. I mean, come on, that's just beautiful. What an idyllic little valley there. Little creek out in the middle there. I'm not sure, maybe there's a little pond at the end of some sort. That's just so pretty. Thought I'd stop for just a second and take out the real camera. So, driving down the road, and it's a dusty trail, let me tell you, it's as dusty gets. And looked over to the side beside me and saw this little valley. I mean, that is just beautific. Can you hear the water back there running? How gorgeous is that? I was thinking to myself, why do we ride? At least why do I ride? Everybody might have their own different reason, I don't know. But for me, I ride because it's so beautiful. I'm on the ATV to go explore and see some of nature's grandeur, and I'm on the snowmobile in the winter for the exact same reason. I want to see just how beautiful everything is around me. And Highland Park is beautiful. I mean, make no mistake about it. It's just drop dead gorgeous out here. But I just thought this little slice of paradise here stood out to me. It was particularly lovely, and I wanted to get a good picture of it. The sound of the burbling water. Yeah, that's about as beautiful as it gets, folks. Heck of a reason to climb on your ATV or your side-by-side and go exploring. You come across little gems like this every once in a while. As I said, maybe I'm a hopeless romantic. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, but I love it. I really just don't ever get bored of this. You know, I'm up here in Island Park or West twice a week, once in a while, 3 times a week, all winter long and in the summer, and it just never gets old. I mean, I can't give you smell-o-vision. I wish I could let you know what it smells like right now. It is just fabulous. If you look up, let me see if I can let you see behind me. See the clouds? It's like it's threatening to rain, and you know, you get that pre-rain smell. Oh, God, it just smells fabulous. It's just a wonderful place to be. Hopefully my enthusiasm comes across. I absolutely love this place. I really, really, truly, deeply, with all my heart, love being up here. Love it in the winter, love it in the summer. Just can't get enough of it. As I continue riding down this trail, I keep looking to my left and to my right at these just beautiful trees, thinking how much fun it would be to go riding out there. A couple of feet of snow is all it would take. You could just ride for miles and miles. That is just the nicest space you could ask for. I got an intersection of some sort. What do we have? Fish Creek to the left, Chick Creek Road, Highway 7. Big Springs 10, this is where we want to go. Okay, so we're turning at intersection 68, it looks like. 10 miles to Big Springs on Forest Service 292. We're heading back home now. Interesting. Timber sale area. Huh. I didn't know they were doing any harvesting at all. That's encouraging. Cool. Bring it on. So we're making our way back towards the Big Springs Loop. We're coming to the end of Fish Creek Road now. Retracing our steps. Back to the Big Springs Meadow. I think I'll stop for just a second, offer a comment. So that range right there that we're looking at, that entire range all the way across there is the Black Canyon Loop. And that entire range is closed to motor vehicles, unfortunately. There's a little valley canyon over there where it's open and you can go to the left and that's open. But to the right, that entire section is closed. You can walk, you can hike, you can take your horse, you can snowmobile in the winter. But sadly, they've gated that entire area. And I don't think I'm going to find any easy way to get in, but I just wanted to mention that. That is the most fun place in all of Island Park, in my opinion. I absolutely love that ridgeline and that upper plateau there. It is just so incredibly beautiful. Oh, can you see those clouds? It has still got to be 80, 85 degrees right now. I mean, it is incredibly nice out right now. Just warm and beautiful, and it looks like it's going to rain, but I'll bet you not a drop's going to hit the ground. It's just too warm for the rain. But we're going to cross back over Big Springs Loop, turn left, make our way back to the warming hut, and we'll call it a day. Back on our way to the warming hut. These little valleys of the streams are so gorgeous. How do you look at that and not just say beautiful? Yeah, that's some mighty nice stuff. Beautiful old trestle bridge. These are fun. Now we're heading back in the very same way we headed out. whoop-de-doos, I tell you what, can't get past thinking about the wintertime. This trail is totally whooped out in the winter and it's totally whooped out in the summer. It doesn't change any. Oh my goodness. Still fun, but it does surprise me how consistent the quality of the ride is, with or without snow, with or without sleds. I totally thought it was a winter thing. It's not. It's just the nature of all the volcanic ash. And the ripples in the sand behaves like it had snow on it. And we are almost back. I suppose if you had a sport quad, you could come up here and have quite a bit of fun. Some of these trails would be a blast to go on a sport quad. And one more turn and we are back. And there we go. Looks like quite a few more campers have arrived since we were here. Getting ready for the weekend. Today's Thursday, so we're getting a head start on the weekend. Alright. And there we are. Oh, I made it back to the trailer. It was a really fun ride, I have to admit. This is my second ride on the ATV, and I had a thoroughly good time. What did I learn? Well, I learned a couple of things about the ATV. So I need to point out, my son bought this and handed me the keys and said, Dad, it's yours for the summer. He just wants it to plow snow in the wintertime. So I'm learning about this ATV. First thing I learned, this damn thing has power steering. I hit the DPS, dynamic power steering button, and holy cow, could a man get spoiled fast. That is a sweet feature. 2, has blinkers. Didn't realize that. This thing's street legal. I just need to go register and get a plate for it. I can drive it down the roads up here, which will be real handy. 3, there are so many old Forest Service and logging trails up here. I can't even shake a stick at. Dozens I found today. Dozens. Most of them have gates on them. All of them have boulders, tank traps, trees, stumps, something blocking them. In almost 100% of the cases, I found one single trail that you'll see, or you saw in the video, where I was able to go down. So the Forest Service has spent an inordinate amount of time and effort and money blocking off every single old logging trail up here. Does that mean you can't get past them? No, by no means. If it was my intent to get to the other side of the gates, of the tank traps, of the boulders, the trees, the stumps, all of that nonsense, in almost every case, yeah, you can go right around it. And in many cases, it was blatantly obvious that many, many, many people had simply gone around the obstacles. I found many gates that have been bashed, smashed, run over, dented, run down, abandoned. Clearly, this is old stuff. This is work that was done, I would guess, decades ago. And there's only a couple of gates that I saw that are really in good repair. And they're obviously major gates on the main road trying to keep people out. On the flip side, there are miles and miles and miles of beautiful dirt roads to go explore and go ride on. And I will be back up. And there are some trails that are not car compatible. Most of where I rode today, anybody with a decent truck could have driven the exact same trails. And it is dual use, so it's open to anybody with a vehicle. But there are at least a handful up here that I know are really for motorcycle and ATV only, and we'll come back up and explore some of those. But in general, can you hear the thunder? Let me flip that around and look up. Do you hear it? It's booming in the background. It's trying. It's thinking about raining. I don't know if it will or not. But in general, it's really fun. I really had a good time. I'm thoroughly enjoying this whole ATV thing. It's great to be up here and see the same places. I mean, the exact same places that I ride in the winter, but to see it in the summer and see it in a whole different light. And I'm finding many places that I'm going to be able to come up and explore this winter that I didn't know existed. All those trails are buried in the wintertime, and most of them I'm completely unaware of. And now I'm starting to build a list in my head of places that we can go explore come wintertime. So we'll have some new places to go and some new things to look at, and that'll be really fun. It's nice to have to expand the inventory, the catalog of places that we can go snowmobiling next winter, while meantime taking the ATV out and exploring. So, all in all, a great day. If you enjoy riding in the forest, this is a fabulous place. I'm sure we have hundreds of miles of roads that we're going to explore between now and when the snow falls. I am Christopher Greybeard, your friendly pirate guide from Snow West. Up here just having fun, man. Just enjoying the summer, enjoying the thunder and the clouds. And oh, God, it smells good. It's just such a wonderful place to be. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Hope you enjoy it. I will get home now and do all the editing on this. I'll post up some maps and some routes and show you where we were and where we went so that you can come up here and see the exact same things when you're ready. We'll see you on the mountain, guys. Bye-bye.